Good morning, Dr. B here on my grief journey. I actually spent yesterday not a lot of tears. I mean, tears came up a little bit, but just like a lot of thoughts and wrestling with my spiritual beliefs and wrestling with all that has happened to me. And I was sad. I wasn't depressed, but I was sad. And, I talk about controlled grief in the Mentally Strong Method and just taking that time to feel the grief. But it was different this time. It didn't feel like grief. I felt like I really needed to map out this sadness. And so I actually did a map. Mine are never as pretty as anybody else's because my brain is just kind of all over the place. But it started with sad. I was sad, and obviously about Maya's death, but just the changes that have happened in my life since Maya's death. I come home and I have nothing to do. I should be like exercising, working on a book, but then it just hits me of, I used to come home and care for Maya, and she just always had that love for me. The way that I travel with my husband changes. Everything changes. And so I was sad about some of those changes. I was sad that my husband wants that love that I had for him early in our marriage that was not changed, but taken by the amount of care and time that Reggie and Maya took. And so I've been fighting for Reggie and Maya, and all of my energy has been to them. And now I sit here with my husband, who is now disabled and needs me, and I was feeling that sadness. He's just such a good man, and he wants me to love him like I did 25 years ago. And I love him differently. And so I had to map all of that out, and then I was kind of listing the things that made me happy, right? The opposite of sad is happy. And some of the things I've started to do, like some gymnastics classes and getting back into scuba diving, things that I gave up to raise my family. And then I noticed that the list of things that made me happy, my husband couldn't do. So trying to work through that sadness. And then I tried to, it was obviously grief, but if you know the Mentally Strong Method, there's 10 categories, and I'm trying to figure out where this other piece was. Yes, there's grief of losing Reggie, there's grief of losing Maya, there's grief of losing my husband losing his function, anticipatory grief around my husband, but there was something else that it was really bothering me. Like, what is this piece that I can't seem to get past? And with meditation, it came to me that it was really injustice. Not only have I fought and lost fighting for my children and they die, I have to take care of my husband. And that's not fair. It's not what when you stand up there and say, for better, for worse, till death do us part. I take my vows very seriously, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I purposely did it in color today because I already put my makeup on. I didn't want to cry. And yesterday really wasn't about crying. So I had to kind of come to terms with, this is an injustice. It's not fair. But life is not fair. as we can see as we watch the news. And but this is the difficulty that I've been given. And I need to do that with dignity, integrity, and do it well. And so it was a shift for me. I've really been fighting caring for my husband. I didn't want to care for him. But I have to care for him. And that's part of my grief process. We had this life together, and it was hard. But he doesn't deserve this either. If you don't know, my husband also has the DRPLA that my daughter and son died from. So I'm going to put on my big girl pants and take this hand that I've been dealt and do the best that I can to care for my husband and care for myself.